Imagine a sick level or whatever, you know, just moving around, you have some sick IK or something. You're welcome. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Johnny's. And today we got an easy one. I'm gonna teach you how to make that sick camera from your favorite game, aka Minecraft, on third person. no, I mean the type of third person game that win Game of the Year awards, you know. My favorite example already is Dead Space 2. Banger. You can see it on other popular entries like God of War, The Last of Us, anything made by Sony really. I like the cameras. I keep my opinions about the games to myself, so let's go. Let's go make the project. Go to games. We're going to C++, boys, blank, C++. It's already a default third person, but I don't like it. We call it Minecraft, of course. Create and wait. Now, a really important part of this project is actually the character movement, because that's the actually difficult or iconic part of this style of camera. So you're gonna need the animations. Now, if you make them yourself, hey, congratulations. I have no idea how you did it. Never made an animation my whole life. What I can show you where I got what I'm gonna use for this video is this bad boy right here. Okay, I will leave a link, but I don't care enough. You can look them up on Epic Games Launcher. You're welcome. But they're good. I use them for most of my projects as the default animation, so if I do something custom, which you usually don't. But they were great. So we're gonna add those to the project. Here we have the project. We got nothing, just empty. So we only really need to make two things. Inputs, which I assume you already have. I'm not gonna make the fucking inputs for you. I'll make a video of it you want. I'll make a video. You know, I don't mind, but I'm not gonna do it in this tutorial. I'll assume you know how to do some inputs. The character blueprint and code. And the character animation instance and animation blueprint. Let's go. So let's go make a new C++ class. This one is gonna be the character. Next, we're gonna call in Minecraft player, of course. Create class. Oh, wait. Now, one thing I'm gonna say about the inputs, even though I'm not explaining the whole thing, I'll do it if you want. You will probably have to change the way you deal with move forward and move right, because the character is not using the forward vector and right vector as reference on this type of camera, right? They're using the camera and the root motion animation as the base for the movement. So here's how we do it, or how I do it. So when I move forward, I have the rotation of the controller, and we'll get the jaw of that, and then we do sigma. Do I know what the sigma does? Not really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I took that code. I don't know how math works. I'm no mathematician, but I know this works. And why? Because we use the controller rotation as a base. Okay, and the controller rotation is not only based on the movement of the character, but on the location of the camera. That being said, just add your movement input like always. You got it. I'm gonna make a blueprint for my Minecraft player. I like using, you know, VP_Minecraft player. That way I know. Okay, and we open this bubble right here, and here you go. We don't need much for this guy. We just need to add a spring and a camera. Oh, and a mesh. Yeah, this guy doesn't exist right now. Let's just give us the good old mannequin there. There we go, sexy. Okay, so we're gonna go to our code, to the order.h. So boom! Here we go. Use spring art component and use camera component. What does all of these mean? Not much. It just means you can see it everywhere, like on the side of the blueprint mostly. On the event graph, you can only get it, you cannot set it. That's what that means. You're welcome. On this initialization, I'm gonna actually set up a couple different things. So first on the camera, boom! You see that it's red. I didn't put my includes, my bad. Boom! There is for both. And I'm just creating the sub-object, spring arm, and attaching it to the mesh, and setting up the length to 450. That's subjective, that's my opinion. I like it on that instance. We're gonna use the palm control rotation. We enable camera lag to give it that smooth feel. And same with the rotation. We set up a speed, again, subjective, my opinion. Same with the camera rotation lag speed and the lag max distance. You can play around with those numbers, see what you feel it works better. Now, this relative location is just to set up to head level of the mesh. You might change that depending on the size of your mesh. And the offset is that sweet offset to the right, you know, putting the camera right here so it looks sick. And the probe size is just, you know, the size of the collision of the camera. That's it. Once we're done with that, we go for the camera. Boom! Initialize it. Attach it to the boom. We don't use control rotation on that one. Keep an eye on that, very important. And the FOV to 50. I think usually it's a 90 on Unreal or 75 or something. 50 makes it look flatter. So my target arm length here is based on this FOV. So if you make the FOV higher, you might need a shorter arm length. Keep that in mind. Now let me show you what it looks like. Let's compile. Wait. There you go. We give it a look. Here you have it. So you see we have body and the lag seems to be working. He's rotating. But now you see that? He's rotating with the camera. No, we don't want that. It's called boom, use controller rotation. Yeah, false. Fuck that shit. There we go. Now he's standing there stoically like a gentleman. A movement just happens. Now we just need to set up the animation blueprint and we're fucking ready. They're gonna create a new C++ class. This one you go to classes, anim instance. There you go. Gonna call that Minecraft anim instance, create class. We wait again. For this one we only need 4 pieces of code really. We need 2 functions. One of them is just an override. So it already exists, we're just gonna change it up a little bit. And the other one it's gonna be something we update every tick. And the other 2 things is just pawn reference to get the player, and then a player reference that is gonna come from transforming the pawn into the player. Okay, let's get to that. So our .h is gonna look like, wait, don't forget the public here. There you go. Like this, boom! We get the pawn that I talked about, the player that I talked about, the override, which is basically just a construct. And we're updating the animation properties. All blueprint callable, nice and pretty. So the first function is gonna look like this. Boom! We check if your pawn is empty, which you will. We get the owner on that motherfucker, which just gives you who's using this animation blueprint. That's it. And then we transform that pawn to the player. Good old cast, baby. Now the next one is a little trickier, but I got you. Control B is bubble right here. Oh, you see I got a couple reds on my player. Didn't get the include again. My bad. So this one we don't only get the player, we get the character movement component. So let's include those. Now on this code, I have the move right value and the move forward value that we haven't set up yet. That one we're gonna use for the blend space. It's gonna be on our axis. It's gonna be the Y on the move forward and the X on the move right. And let's set that up actually real quick on the CPP. CPP, put it right here on top. Boom. Is equal to value. Same thing with the move right, and I don't have it on my .h. Fuck. Okay, that's it up. All we're doing on the update animation is if move right does not equal 0 or move forward does not equal 0, aka character is not moving, there's no inputs from the controller or the keyboard or whatever, and the physics rotation during animation motion is false, okay, aka if you haven't gone in the if statement already. What that does is you see how when you move you don't rotate, like the character should rotate to the direction of the camera only while moving. That's what that allow physics to rotation yada 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 does. And then on the else, if the character is not moving, aka if move right value is true or move forward value is true, and the allow physics is true, then we set it up to false. That means the character is idling, and we put this if just so it doesn't happen multiple times. You know, we don't want to be initializing the variable 86 billion thousand times, right? So we don't. That's only if the player is not null. Else we get the player, we cast it again. You did a great job. Now we create the ABP. We go to animation, animation blueprint. We use our skeleton, create. Oh shit, I didn't. No, whatever, it doesn't matter. We have it here, class defaults. We're gonna go remotion from everything since we're already there. And then I think it's on class settings. Yeah, parent class, anim instance. We're gonna use ours, Minecraft anim instance. Here you should have your blend space. Boom, boom. See, if you use the code like me, you should have your player. Oh, I didn't compile, my bad. Player, get player, move right, move forward, connect, go to a event graph. Yeah, well, I think we got to update animation properties, boom, compile, we play it, Oh, now we get to the player. And I don't know what I called it actually. New anim. There it is. Compile. We play it. That wasn't right. I fucked up. Why did you never tell me that I move forward and move right, huh? Assholes. And there we go. Isn't this what you always wanted? Isn't this what you always wanted? And you can tell it's a little choppy. Well, I can fix that. Let me just show you. So you have your blend space. I'm not gonna teach you how to make a blend space. I'm assuming you know how to make them. And if you don't know how to make them, I'm assuming you bought one. But basically, all you do is you have all these animations set up on these little points, and to smooth the transition of animations, you might want to use smoothing time here. But what that does is that in the horizontal axis, it smoothens this movement, which is not what you want. What you want is to smooth, from whatever point you are on the blend space, because otherwise, you're moving right and then you decide to move left and it slowly goes through the whole thing to go to the animation you want. You don't want smoothing time on the axis. What you want is a little lower here, called weight speed. That one we put a 5 on that motherfucker. Boom. We go back to play. For free, baby. You're welcome. You can make your AAA looking shit. Imagine a sick level or whatever, just moving around, you have some sick IK or something. You're welcome. Anyways, you found it helpful? Give me a like and shit. Share with your friends. Even if they don't make any games, you share with them. Make them watch it. Doesn't matter. If you have any more questions, just leave a comment. I'll answer. I'll make a video if it's like a really good question. And that's it. See you next one.